Lucas Moura. He thrust himself in like he meant it. And Son Heung-min, and that is a beautifully executed Tottenham move. It's Cavani. Manchester United have the lead. They've turned another one round at the end of some gorgeous rat-a-tat football. Crossbar watches it over the line, and Manchester City have their lead. And this is dangerous now. It's Riyad Mahrez. Oh, that's a smashing finish. Crazy, chaotic, but hugely meaningful. But ice cold. Back in towards Diop.
This is the Talking League.
Hey, what's up you guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Talking League. It feels really good to be behind the camera and microphone once again and coming back to you with another episode. We know that it's been ages since Ashley, Jared or myself have sat and done anything, especially with JVW, but it seems like we're going to slowly but surely get back into the swing of things, so I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And on that note, I'd like to let you know that today's episode is proudly sponsored by Sneakers and More. Now, everyone once in a while wants to go out and spoil themselves, and sometimes more than others. So why don't you head over to Sneakers and More and get yourself some awesome kit, whether it's going to be hoodies, sneakers, heels, training outfits, the works. Have got them all. So they've got the brands like Nike, Fila, Adidas, Puma, and there's just so much more. So what I'm going to do is going to drop off their link in the description box below. And in order for you to qualify for a 20% discount, all you need to do is watch this video, which you're doing already, like the video, and subscribe to our channel. Once you do that, screenshot that and send it through to Sneakers and More when placing your order, and they will give you 20% off your order, which I think is a very good deal. In fact, I'm actually wearing one of their hoodies right now and a pair of their Nike sneakers, but I'm not going to be lifting my legs up to show you the Nike sneakers. And of course, and always, kitted out by JVW. So if you haven't got any of your JVW merchandise yet, please head over to their website and their store and place an order and get kitted out and support the biggest and the best women's football brand in South Africa. Right, let's jump straight into today's show. So I'd like to just start off the show by doing a position recap of the Premier League and whether I think some teams underperformed or overperformed. And if we're going to look at the top, Man City winning the league. If I'm looking back on it now, Liverpool won last season, and especially with City's current form, you'd expect them not to take it laying down and not go and challenge for the title, which they did successfully this season. I think it helped along with the fact that Liverpool had so many injuries in the beginning of the season, and this gave a bit of a lift to Man City in hopes and aspirations to go and win the league. So I think, I don't want to say they overperformed or underperformed. I just feel like it was written in the cards or in the stars for City to win the league. Second on the log was Man United, and they finished with 74 points, which to me, I think they personally overachieved, and it's a great achievement for them nonetheless. Obviously, not necessarily a big United fan either. However, I think they did fantastic with the squad they've got. Some of the players overperformed. I mean, well, not overperformed, but like really did well. If you look at Luke Shaw, we always know him. He's been a talented player, and this season he had a fantastic season. And of course, they were always helped out by Bruno Fernandes, one of my players I can't stand. He produces the numbers, and he's a damn good player. But man, there's just something about this guy I don't like at all. But nonetheless, I think Man United did better than I expected. I'm sure non-United fans will agree with me that they actually did better than expected. Sitting in third was Liverpool. Now, I mean, we need to look back at the table a couple months back, and Liverpool looked like they were destined to finish maybe between 6th to 10th on the log. However, they had a real strong finish to the season. They came back, they put some good results together back to back, and they ended up finishing a solid third. So I think they did fantastic. It was always going to be difficult after winning the league to retain the league. But secondly, with all the injuries they had at centre back, I mean, at one stage they had two centre mids playing as their centre backs. So I think they did really fantastic. And I think a lot of people attributed it to Virgil van Dijk being injured. I don't buy into that theory just because one player doesn't make a team. Let's just be honest. However, he's a very influential player. And I think once he was out injured, other players couldn't step up into that mold. So it was rather disappointing to see that the other senior players couldn't step up. However, they all rallied, they got together, and Jurgen Klopp got his well-deserved third place. Finishing up in fourth was Chelsea. Also, I don't know how I feel about that really, whether they overachieved or underachieved. I think that was probably a fair result at the end of the day. Going into the last game of the season, they really desperately needed a win. But a loss did it for them. They lost 2-1 to Aston Villa and they finished in solid third position. Finishing in fifth place was Leicester City. Now, I know there's not a big following of Leicester fans here in South Africa that I'm aware of. I know there is a lot of Leicester fans. However, I just think as football fans in general, we did not see Leicester City doing that well. But in saying that, Leicester City were always, in the top 3, top 4 of the league for majority part of the season. And unfortunately, they bottled it. I personally think they bottled it. There was a good shout for them to finish second or third. They ended up finishing fifth, so I think that was a little bit disappointing for them. And on reflection, overall good season. I mean, they won the FA Cup final, so that was fantastic. They got a trophy. However, fifth place, I think they could have finished a bit better from where they were sitting earlier on. So in sixth place was West Ham. Now, definitely overachievers, let's just be honest. Another rival club to Tottenham, so of course I can't stand them at all. However, a fantastic performance from them this season. David Moyes getting the players to really play. Thomas Souček did extremely well. In fact, I'd say their whole squad actually chipped in really well. And I think Jesse Lingard joining them in the mid-transfer window gave them a massive boost and really helped them push for top aspirations. They not bottled it, but they fell off a little bit towards the end of the season. And I think there was a possible shout for them to finish fourth. However, in my honest opinion, at one stage I did say to a couple of mates of mine that I don't see them maintaining that momentum and finishing in top 4 just because it's unfamiliar territory for them. So 6th place, I think it was pretty decent. We look at 7th place, my Tottenham Hotspur. Now, going into the season, okay, I might sound a bit biased just because it is my team that I love so much. But going into the season, I had massive aspirations for the team, especially for Mourinho having a full, what's the word I'm looking for, pre-season under his belt with the team. He could get the players to play his style of football, which some might say is negative, irregardless. We were top of the log, guys. We were top of the log. We were flying real high, and I think it was the Liverpool game that we lost. And since then, we just went on a down slope, and there was no brakes on that car whatsoever. It was heading smack into a wall, and the fact that we finished still 7th, I think was hell of impressive, but still a damn disappointing season by Tottenham standards, especially with the likes of Kane, Son and Bale up front. I mean, who wouldn't want that front 3 of players? But unfortunately, things just didn't turn out for us defensively. We were poor, and unfortunately, the soft spine of Tottenham showed again, and we finished 7th. In saying that, surprise, surprise, who finished 8th? Arsenal, that's you. You guys finished below us once again. And it's always bragging rights for St. Tottenham Day when Arsenal finished below us, so that was fantastic. As poor as our season was, we still finished above the Gunners, so overall I think that was a great achievement. But yeah, Arsenal finished damn strong. I mean, they lost 5 games, they won. They really pushed for it, which was interesting because they got a bit lost, and especially when Aubameyang signed his new contract, he just seemed to go off the pace completely and fall off. So that was rather interesting. Rounding off 9th and 10th was Leeds and Everton, respectively. I think Leeds did fantastically well. They started off the season with a bang. Everyone was talking about the exciting, expansive football they played, but always found themselves open up at the back. But I think there was a bit of naivety and Premier League nerves for the first time coming back team. And then 10th was Everton, which to my Everton friends out there, I think you might have been disappointed with that finish. However, top 10, yeah, pretty decent with Carlo Ancelotti. You'd think they would have finished higher, especially the opening game of the season when they played Tottenham and they beat us. I think it was 2-1 or 2-0, I can't remember. It was 38 games ago, so it was a long time ago. But you thought with that victory, they got some good games. James Rodriguez was firing all cylinders. Him and Sigurdsson were doing really well. And Calvert-Lewin. but unfortunately, they only finished 10th. So obviously we have the trophies that were up for grabs this season, so a massive congratulations to Chelsea Football Club for winning the Champions League on Saturday. It was a fantastic performance. They outclassed City and outscored them completely, so I think that was really awesome. But a massive congratulations to Man City for winning the Carabao Cup against Tottenham, and of course for winning the Premier League, which is, I know some people say Champions League is the ultimate prize, but for me, I'd still say the Premier League is the ultimate prize. I mean, you've proven yourself over 38 games overseas, a long, grueling season full of injuries, ups and downs, and we know that the Premier League is the hardest and most competitive league in the world. In saying that, Champions League, you're playing against the best of the best in Europe. So overall, well done to Man City for winning Carabao Cup as well as the Premier League. And then, of course, we can't forget old Leicester. Leicester City beating Chelsea in the FA Cup final. That was a fantastic game. I think they also actually outclassed Chelsea in that game. And had they not have done that, I don't know if Chelsea would have had the motivation to go on and win the Champions League. So, well done to Leicester City. So now we go on to the individual awards for the season. And the Golden Boot winner was Harry Kane. Can you freaking believe it? No, of course you can believe it. Harry Kane, the third-time winner of the Golden Boot. What a fantastic achievement. The man had a mad season in a poor Tottenham team. So well done to Harry Kane. He actually just got his new designer boots. I'm not too sure if you saw it on Instagram, with 3 little golden boots embroidered or printed on the side of the boots. So with the season each that he won those golden boots in, so fantastic. Winning it with 23 goals. It was really awesome. I mean, if we just go down the list here, second on the Golden Boot chase was Mo Salah, finishing on 22 goals, so he was just right behind Harry. And third was Bruno Fernandes, my dear friend, on 18 goals. Fourth was Patrick Bamford from Leeds with 17. And Heung-min Son was actually tied with Bamford for 17 goals, so pretty decent return for him as well. And then rounding up on top 6 was Dominic Calvert-Lewin with 16 goals. We're going to move over now to the assists for the season, and the most assists went to Harry Kane as well. So, like I said, top goal scorer, top assists, fantastic season by Harry Kane. He was phenomenal, and I think one thing that people don't give Mourinho credit for was allowing Kane to come play deeper in some of the games, and that allowed him to get on the ball more. And you know, if you've been unbiased now and you've just been an honest football fan, you cannot doubt Harry Kane's passing ability. The man has got mad vision. He can hit a long ball or through ball, keep it nice and short and play a good 1-2 and knock it off. The man was just incredible, and he won the most assists for the season with 14 assists. Right behind him was Bruno Fernandes in second place with 12 assists. Third, well actually I lie, apologies. Tied second was Kevin De Bruyne and Bruno Fernandes. So both top quality players there. Fourth place was Jack Grealish from Aston Villa, also on 10 assists, which was mighty impressive. And you know, I think if bigger teams are going to go in for Jack Grealish this season, they're going to have to fork out the money for that player, because he's hell of a talented, even though sometimes it looks like he doesn't wear shin pads. Then we're looking at tied fourth again was Son. Once again, like I say, Son had a fantastic season as well with Harry Kane. And if you look at Kane and Son in the top 6 for goals and assists in the season, you wonder what went wrong for Tottenham. And like I said, it just boils down to unfortunate errors in defense, and silly errors at that. If we're going to go now and look at the Golden Glove, Ederson winning that with 19 clean sheets. 19 clean sheets. That means half of the games of the season he kept a clean sheet. That's an incredible feat, and obviously I know it's a bit cliche and a bit obvious, but if you keep clean sheets and you score goals, you get the 3 points, and it showed. So well done to Ederson. In second place was Mendy from Chelsea with 16 clean sheets, and then Martinez with 15 clean sheets, which is rather impressive, finishing off in third place for Aston Villa. Now, it wouldn't be a football podcast if we did not talk about Jose Mourinho. So a lot of people have been chatting to me. I mean, obviously I'm a Spurs fan, and I've never made my feelings disguised about it. I think Jose Mourinho is one of the best football managers in the world. If you just look at his record and what he's achieved and the trophies he's won in every team he's gone to, barring Tottenham. Of course, that would be Spursy of us to break his streak there. However, Jose Mourinho is one of those managers that it's his way or the highway. Now, as professional footballers, especially at a club like Tottenham, where we haven't won a trophy in a good couple of years, when a manager of his credibility comes to the club and he tells you we need to play this style of football, and if you do that and you trust me, we will win a trophy. It all started off great and was very nice, and unfortunately, the soft spine of Tottenham showed again, and I'd like to say it was defensive errors, and that's why he chopped and changed his centre-back pairing so often, because he just was not comfortable. I mean, Eric Dyer is such a fantastic player. However, he had one of his poorest seasons in a Spurs shirt. Now, make no mistake, Eric Dyer loves Tottenham. The man puts his body really on the line. However, he made silly mistakes, and I think he became complacent in most of his games, and I think that was the biggest downfall of his this season. We chopped and changed between Davinson Sanchez as well as Toby Alderweireld. Now, we both all know that Toby is not the fastest player. However, he's one of the smartest players. He is the Rolls Royce of defenders. No one can deny that. So you need a fast-pacey, smart defender playing next to him who can cover him. And unfortunately, I just think our style of players couldn't match that, and that's where our biggest downfall was. Along with that was the players' attitudes. Now, I love and bleed Tottenham, and I will support any Tottenham player that wears the shirt and plays for the club. However, it doesn't change my feelings about some of the players, and I do not wish them any ill. However, there was a good couple of players that just went completely against Mourinho, and you could see they stopped playing for the team and the manager, and that unfortunately led to poor performances on the pitch and to the downfall of Mourinho. Many people say that, like, why don't they just sack the players? Well, unfortunately, the problem with that is you can't just go and sack 10 players that easily. It's easier to sack the manager and instead of getting rid of all those players. Now, that's been a problem at Tottenham for a good couple of seasons. That's exactly the reason why Pochettino was fired, because those same players that underperformed for him underperformed for Jose Mourinho as well. And unfortunately, it was the downfall of Jose Mourinho. It was rather sad that when he was sacked, but I do know that it was the right thing to do in order to try and rescue some top 7, top 8 credibility. And Ryan Mason, a boyhood Tottenham fan, came in and did a fantastic job to steer the ship to the end of the season as interim manager. And we are currently in the process of looking for a new manager. Now, many are saying Pochettino might make a shock return to Tottenham. Now, I would be all for that, because out of all managers I've ever watched or learned or studied, Pochettino is one of my favorites. I love his style of management, and I think he's still got a lot to offer. He absolutely loves Tottenham, which is exactly what you want. However, Daniel Levy, our chairman, is going to have to open the purse and give Pochettino the players he wants this time to make sure the rebuild happens and that we can challenge for some serious trophies. Another manager that we've been linked with is Conte. Now, Antonio Conte just went and won the league. I mean, what else do you want from the guy? The guy is also a proven winner. However, he's going to have serious demands if he joins Tottenham in terms of the players he wants. As you know, Tottenham don't like to spend money on players' wages, so we're going to be a bit stuck there. So I think personally it's between Erik ten Hag, Pochettino and Conte on who we get as our next manager. And lastly, the Talking League. We ran a competition this season for the Fantasy Premier League called the Talking League. And I'd just like to announce some of the winners. Well, not the winners, the top people, but the number one winner coming in on 2,322 points was Nikola Krasmanevich. I hope I didn't say your surname wrong. With the team called the Sleepers. Well done. You have won the Talking League, Fantasy League this season. It was really good. I started off actually myself being number one, but I think it was a fluke, and then I dropped down so badly. But well done to you, Nicola. Coming in second place, a good friend of mine, Chad Cowan. Well done. His team was called Bruno How It Is, 2,304 points. And then in third, we had Gerard Swanepoel with Lingardium Leviosa, obviously a Harry Potter fan as well as a Jesse Lingard fan. Fourth was Arif Dulaba with Dabbers United. Fifth, another good mate of mine, Tahir Mayat, with his team called Peppermint Crisp. I'm pretty sure that's got to do with your chocolate preference. And then sixth, James O'Reilly. Seventh, Precious Alazia. Eighth was Adid88. Interesting surname, Adid88. Ninth was Mtunzi Matakenyenya. And number 10 was Ian Hearn. So congratulations to all of you that played this season. It was a rather interesting one. I still think there's a little bit of luck involved. However, that does not take away from the players that played the Fantasy Premier League this season. You did fantastic. You made the right choices at the right times, captained the right players, because that's also very important. And I do believe the bench boost is rather important, especially if there's a double game week. And if you could have all your players, your starting 11 and your bench players, all 4 of them, if I'm not mistaken, playing in a double game week, you're definitely going to be scoring some massive points. So congratulations to all of you. In closing, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for all the support you've shown the Talking League. We're hoping to get our channel up and running again and start bringing you videos on a weekly basis once again. Obviously, with COVID numbers on the rise again, we won't be able to be with the rest of the host all the time. So we'll be doing individual podcasts in the meantime. However, if you have any topics or questions or discussions, because I'm sure there's plenty out there that you'd like us to discuss on the show, or if you'd possibly like to join us on the show and we do a Zoom call, please send us your details either on Instagram or on our Facebook page. Let us know and we could hook up a little meeting, and we could definitely look at doing something like that. I mean, there's so much to talk about with VAR. The Euros are coming up now, so maybe we're going to get a Super Brew going for the Euros. There's lots of football still to come, and I'm already itching for the new Premier League season. So from me, Shane Campbell, the Talking League, I hope you all stay well, safe and healthy. Look after yourselves, and don't forget to like and subscribe to this video.